Welcome to Subramani. I have spent most part of my life in wealth management, or what, like my friend's daughter says, in slow money management, right? And we keep talking about this, me and my advisor, who's been a good friend now for 40 plus years, is that we made money because we are scared. We are scared of risk. We don't take too much risk, but we are both almost 100% in equity, at least 90% plus in equity. The other assets that we have are enough to take care of us, but it is an insignificant portion of the wealth that we have, right? So of the money that we have, whatever, of the net worth that we have. Of course, we both have houses, we have offices, whatever, and we have some gold recently bought, perhaps. Which is just money taken out of equity, saying too much money is in equity, let's put money in sovereign gold bonds, etc. But for me, money is multi-decadal kind of a thing. When I'm sitting with friends or clients, it is like saying, okay, this company looks good over a long term, so maybe you should hold on for 20 years, 30 years. Like both of us have HDFC Limited bought from the 70s, which is now part of HDFC Bank. And my original HDFC Bank, I think I bought in 1994, just after the IPO when it got listed, and I also got some shares because I was a shareholder of HDFC Limited. So I can do this multi-decadal play, which means I don't log into the market every morning to see what is happening in the market. I have no clue sometimes. Sometimes I log in at about 1 p.m. to find out what has happened in the market. Sometimes my friend calls and says, oh, this share has gone up, that share has gone up. I say, wait a minute, let me log in. And they can't even believe that I haven't logged in. But I don't trade, right? I don't manage other people's money. I'm not answerable to somebody asking, where is the Sensex today, where is the S&P? I have no clue sometimes, right? Whether it is the Nifty or the Sensex, I don't track them on a regular basis. So, but yes, I meet people who do it, and for them, the way they look at market is very different from the way I look at market, right? So, I'm not in investment banking, I'm not in regular banking, I'm just in wealth management. So I don't even know the other side of wealth management, that people borrow to invest or borrow to buy a car, buy a house. Many of the people whom I know, with whom I deal, tell me I need to buy a house, tell me which shares to sell. Yes, some money they may borrow just to make sure that the legal documentation is right, but this is largely funded by a sale of assets. I remember a friend of mine bought some, I think 60,000 shares of Siemens or something. He wanted to buy some real estate, then he said, I'm not buying the real estate. So he bought shares of Siemens. After a few years, he sold some portion of Siemens, and he bought that same real estate which he wanted to buy, which had not gone up so much in price. He called me recently to say, remember the balance Siemens which I have, it has gone up so much that I can buy one more floor, not just half an office, half a floor which I bought last time. I can sell those shares to buy my next floor. I'm wondering what to do, right? That's the kind of, I mean, this could be over a 20-year period. I'm not saying it happened over 2 months or 3 months. In the last few months, Siemens has done extremely well. That is a different thing. So, running the slow money has its advantages, because you sit with people and say, look, you have money. This money has to be preserved. Inflation is 5%, so you need to get at least 5% to preserve it. Anything above 5% is good, because for your day-to-day living, you have your current income, and this money is just money which you may require in 10, 20, 30 years, or not require it at all and leave it in the bill to your children. So, running the slow money has this advantage of looking at cash flow of the company, the goodwill of the company, the PE re-rating that could happen or it has already happened, looking at those things rather than worrying about typical fund manager me talk, abhi kya chalega, what should I buy now, should I put money in pharma or should I put money in commodities, oh should I put money in banking, right? So people ask these kind of questions for which honestly most fund managers do not have an answer. None of us know why the market fell 2000 points yesterday or why it is going to go up 3000 points tomorrow. We all know, or we all claim to know something. We say that in the morning, and in the evening or next day morning we are at perfect peace with ourselves explaining why it didn't happen. In hindsight, we have what, not even 20-20, maybe we were 30-20. That perfect we are. All of us can, with hindsight, say why Narendra Modi got 240 seats and not 420 seats as or 410 seats, or why did not become 400 par. Nobody knew before the event, right? So when you run slow money, you have this advantage because you looking at lifetime as a horizon, not just, and which could be my horizon also, right? If I am looking at a client who is now 60 years of age, his lifestyle and his lifetime and my lifetime could more or less match. So question is finding him a younger advisor is now necessary, right? Because time horizon across, especially for multi-generational, it is even longer. For example, I know one person who has now invested a big portion of his money in his 2-year-old grandchild, and I keep telling him, look, your grandchild is going to need help from somebody who is now in their 20s, so that when your granddaughter is in her 20s, this person will be in the 40s, not from people who are above 60, who will surely either be senile or dead by the time your granddaughter really grows up. So largely the money that I look at is the safety money. So the goal is, of course, preservation and little growth above inflation, to keep pace with inflation. The stakes, like I think, are too high to risk losing money. To me and most of the people whom I look at in the advisory is, I shouldn't lose money. That is more important. So on a 5 crore portfolio, maybe putting 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs in direct equity and actually playing with it. That's not a word which I like to use, but investing that and withdrawing, putting it again, that kind of a trading is possible. But again, on a very small portion of the total worth, because it has to be only that kind of money which you can afford to lose. The other money has to be dull, boring, slow and growth oriented, right? It need not be fast. In fact, I think it should not be fast, because if it is fast, the chances of losing it is pretty high, right? So we are, I belong to that old generation where we don't even know what is trading, and I don't have to look at what is happening in the market in the morning. I don't have to switch on the television. I don't have a television for the last 10 years. Of course, I can get into my laptop. Is it necessary at all for me? No. Is it necessary for the people whom I advise? No, because they know that over the long term they will make money. That is more important than making money on a day-to-day basis, because that's not the way how I do things. Yes, a portion of their money can be given to a fund manager or so-called fund manager, PMS manager, maybe give away 50 lakhs saying, you will trade in this, you will not invest. Investing, I am doing myself. Trading, I do not know, so please trade in that, right? That kind of a portfolio is possible. But for me, it is a dull, boring, compounding story, and I can hold on to shares for 30-40 years, unlike fund managers who can't hold for beyond 36 months. Thank you.